We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action. Welcome to the Live Drive Jive archive with your host, Frank Monday, broadcasting Monday through Fridays, typically the morning grind and the evening shuffle. So it is 7 p.m. Twilight Zone Old Peking time in the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon. And it is, in fact, a full moon, and the sun's in Virgo, and it's day 100 of the 100-day challenge. That's kind of exciting. It looks like let's see how this is working. It looks like it's a little bit sketchy on the connection, guys. So if we lose connection, I'm not going to fight with it all night long, man. I'll just, I'll wrap it up. Pack 'em up, pack 'em in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't tear a sock up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and yo, the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up and touch the ceiling. Good stuff. That was from the House of Pain, guys. I think they were a Boston group that claimed Irish heritage. They might have been Irish imports. I don't think so, though. I just think there were some local Boston guys that claim to be Irish, which is good fun. You know, nothing wrong with that. Probably some truth to it. So I was listening to a lot of different things in the news over the last couple of days about this, that, and the other thing. And I thought, I've got opinions on all that. And then I thought, well, yeah, you better keep your fucking opinions to yourself. So I will refrain from engaging that flow of energy because we know how dangerous it can be. So I checked the calendar and it turns out that today is the culmination of the 100-day challenge, hypnoapotheosis. It is day 100. I had thought a couple of days ago that we had hit day 100. According to my reckoning, we had in my journals, but I was abroad and I had done an accurate calculation and assessment before I left Beijing back on, when did I leave? Sometime in July, like July 21st. And then I got back to Beijing on August 28th. So I was gone like a full 5 weeks. I thought it was 6 weeks, but it turns out it was only 5. So I was a couple of days off on my reckoning while I traveled. But how did you do with your 100-day challenge? Did you guys, did anybody participate? Give me the thumbs up if you did. Leave it in the comments down below. I participated, of course. And if you remember at the start of it, the friend of mine, our friend who participated, coordinated with me a little bit with interviews and producing content there at the beginning days. Professional hypnotherapist Thomas Dick Tips. Looks like he is really. I mean, literally, you're not gonna put an ass at. So Thomas had said that the good striving or calculation to look for the 100-day challenge was 100%, 10 days at 100%, and 100 days at 90%. So I always tell folks, you know, you take off 1 in 10 if you want. I don't typically. I go every day because I've done a lot of work with self-programming, and I find it an enjoyable ritual to get up, add a new practice to your agenda, to your routine, and then keep reviewing it every day. And it gets more invigorating and more exciting as you go. So rather than feeling burnt out by it, you feel constantly enlivened and so on and so forth. Today's been a big day. 7 o'clock, right? I was up at 4:30 a.m. daily ritual practice. I was on the road by like 5:30, 5:25, 5:30 this morning. Got to the school at 6:25, 6:20, something like that, and then had breakfast at 7, and then just the whole day, just going, just getting it. So I thought about getting back to work, and I thought about that equation of applying the heat, right? The firing, when you're stoking the billows and heating up the coal for refining iron or doing internal alchemy. I thought, yeah, you know, this is good. I'm gonna get at it 100% for the first 10 days, and then I'll take a day off. But even the biblical Yahweh only did 6. So I think we're pushing it a little harder even than God does, right? Nothing wrong with that. Of course, our level of creation is a little different. We're not birthing entire universes. We're just, getting our dailies in. So I had a lot of fun. I did a lot of dailies today. I had a meeting with our department head, and I had a meeting with a colleague and a couple of colleagues. One, two, I met 2 new employees that I had some hand in hiring. And then I had I met with 2 different department heads, and I met with a colleague on a project, and then I met with 2 other colleagues. So just a day full of meetings. The kids don't come back to the academy until next week. So today's what, Tuesday, and we're already hard at it, right? A week in advance of the kids coming back. We were actually supposed to start on yesterday or the day before. So I might get paid docked for missing the first couple of days of the semester, but no big deal. I mean, I there's nothing could be done about it. I was traveling, I was still abroad. I hadn't even gotten back into the country yet. Turns out 2 of the people we tried to hire at the academy got denied entry into China. And I always wonder, like, how does a person get their visa denied? Like, what part of the application process do they miss? And are they lying to us on their resume? Like, is there something going on that I'm missing? And so it's always interesting when that happens. And I always wonder why. Tell me why ain't looking for a heartache. Tell me why. I wanna hear you say, I want it that way. All right, I'm not gonna sing. For some reason, I tend to want to sing more in the evenings on the live drive jive than I do on the morning grind. So, hypnoapotheosis. What was it all about? It was all about instilling. Is that the right word? Installing autonomous operating systems, automatic automation within the human mind, and stuff that you want. Like, you're going to go about and do automated behaviors anyway. Why not take control of those and put in some automated things that benefit you and that you really want to get done, or that you've really wanted to get done, or that you've might thought about of engaging in for years now and then just never got started on it, like a self-strengthening routine, right? Getting those muscles up a little bit, um, losing those extra pounds around the middle, the waist section, taking off that spare tire, dressing a little more fashionably, picking up a musical instrument, or anything that you think would give you greater pleasure in life and greater contentment. That's really what we're looking for, right? We're not looking for satiation. I mean, what, I got a fucking mouse in my pocket? You, me, and the other guy, right? Me, myself, and I are looking for contentment, a sort of, mm, pride, not the arrogant pride of hubris, but the pride of having a job well done. I was listening to Rudolf Steiner this afternoon after lunch, and I think there are two big errors in Steiner's teaching. There might be more than that, but two looming mistakes that Steiner made. Number one, was his total misunderstanding of human sexuality. And I think maybe he was celibate or a little too introverted around the ladies or something like that. And this, as a result, this might have bred in him some religious original sin type of mentality concerning human sexuality, which he's really missing the mark. He's missing half of life for the ordinary individual, because the ordinary individual it strives to and is desirous of, and even one may even say necessary of, sexual interaction with a healthy, um, complementary partner, right? So I think he really missed out on a big part of life by not enjoying sexuality. So I find that his understanding of that is a little bit backwards. And anyway, just thought I'd address that. Manly P. Hall too. Good God, what a boring lecture to listen to. Some people really praise Manly P. Hall and his achievement, which I don't discredit at all. But good God, it's like listening to a Sunday school teacher. He's just constantly moralizing at you. And humanity is done with being spoken down to by gurus who would um, moralize at them endlessly. Now, I'm not saying you should go in the other direction and just go balls to the wall, degenerate, right? And doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You should have a moral compass to be sure, but it's a personal relationship with you and your own pantheon of spiritual forces that you need to um, calibrate that with, not your spiritual guru. So I prefer if they kind of step away from that. Like Alan Watts is a good example of a guy who got it right. He just gets it. Robert Anton Wilson, Philip K. Dick. He's a sci-fi writer. He's not a spiritual guru, but sci-fi minded guys, it seems, kind of get it a little more than your average individual. Uh, so, well, the second big error in Steiner's teaching, and I don't know why I'm nitpicking on Steiner today. Oh, it's because I had to go through like an hour and a half of his lectures this afternoon. I didn't have to, but I enjoy putting it on and going through it and looking for those gold gems in his teaching, because he does have a lot of good stuff in his teaching. What was the second one? Totally slipped my mind now. I'd taken notes on it, and now I'm kind of missing it. That's okay. Maybe it'll come to me again later. But back to the 100-day challenge hypnoapotheosis. It's finished. It's done. It's in the bag. And as uh, Thomas Frater, Thomas Sund had mentioned, keeping a journal over the course of the 100-day challenge is a really good idea. I worked on my journals a little bit, but because I was so transient during this one, I didn't get to do as much over the last 5 weeks as I would have liked. But one thing is certainly true with any 100-day challenge. there's if you stick to it and you nail that quota of 10 days at 100% and 190%, there's going to be rapid change and big magic going on. And so here we find ourselves at the end of another challenge. And it's a full moon. The sun is in Virgo, right? And good things are happening. So it was my first day back at school today. I'm pretty happy to be back. It was good to see all the happy, smiling teachers, minus the students. I heard the bell ring a couple of times, which kind of was like, oh, the odious industrial academic format is just so passe. It's kind of like being moralized at by a Sunday school guru, uh, having your time measured out to you by Pavlonian bells and whistles. So yesterday, and okay, so with pointing out what is yesterday and passe, outdated, and even has become odious and malignant towards mankind, let's have an eye on the future and what would be better. So, what would be better than a mechanized automated bell system for a school? Well, mix it up a little bit. Certainly you need those time measurements, but install an actual school bell system. It may require a little more know-how, but you could even rely on the teachers to ring a bell or something, and, or someone on each hall to. I know it wouldn't necessarily. They get a little reminder on the wristwatch or something. Um, just everybody knows what time it is. They know when the class is finished. They know when the next class begins. Don't overthink it. Um, some chimes would be nicer than a bell. They have this. The reason I'm pointing that out is because the one at school now has switched over to like this military style cadence one, and it's like, yeah, that's not really what we want to do to the teachers or the kids. Whereas like last year they had this kind of happy-go-lucky, um, like Barney the dinosaur one, which wasn't great either. So choose an appropriate, choose a nice little section out of the planets, the suite or whatever, like the dance of the planets or some Chopin, Beethoven, something, a moonlit sonata. Choose a nice, elegant piece, and even mix it up a bit with the way computer technology works these days. You could have a dedicated ringtone for each period in the day, or do like one ringtone for Mondays, another ringtone for Tuesdays. You know, they put a little more thought into it than just one silly military cadence 24/7. That gets really really boring and redundant and mind numbing. And I make fun of it with the students in class. One of the first things I teach every senior high class about is Pavlov's dog. And I try to enforce them to make the connection between uh, Pavlov training dogs to figure out stimulus and response to what they're trying to do to us as far as the rotation of classes and how mechanized it is, and kind of make fun of it a little bit. Maybe at the same time, making fun of myself and the entire industrial academic institute. Yeah. So that's it. I don't have a lot to talk about. I've exhausted my best energies for the day. And so I just wanted to tune in and say hello to everyone and see if anybody was out in Happy Land. It's showing numbers at zero, so I'll focus on the traffic here. We're coming into gridlock, I guess, or bumper to bumper. So I'll get my hands on the wheel Eyes on the road and mind on driving. I love y'all good looking, sexy people, and I will see you in the abodes of the future. Until then, keep doing good magic. Hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe. If it was your first time, don't let it be your last time. All that happy horse shit. Make sure you go out and check me out on www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday and put a little something in the tip jar because that'll put the lead in my pencil. Until next time, bye for now.